Welcome to Talk Through the Media's entertainment news and reviews by fans for fans. I'm Joy Fagan, and this is the show where we analyze trending topics, focusing on social media context and the reactions. Today, we'll discuss the Jonathan Majors Magazine Dreams debut after the audio leak, a Nora review, and the Snow White 2025 controversy. All that and the topics you guys want to discuss on this episode of Talking Through the Medias.
T3 Media.
And prepare yourself, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Talking Through the Medias. I'm your host, Chris Fagan. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you don't miss any other episodes. Follow us on all the social media platforms and follow our podcast at T3 Media Studios on all platforms. During this show, if you want to support us, you can by doing a super chat. You can become a channel member, or you can donate at any time you want to during the show. Send a question in at streamlabs.com/T3medias/tips or tip to get more questions in as we analyze and get this show going. So as we go through the comments on for that, and we got your mail, just send those in, and thank you for supporting the show. And hope you enjoyed the this month's replay that we had going on throughout the day. All right, all that out the way. Joy, what's the first topic of the? Oh no, you know what? I'm not throwing it to you. I'm going to tell. So the first topic of the day is magazine dreams. Let me make sure that I got everything all up to code. So Jonathan Majors just dropped his new movie just came out today. So it was that movie Magazine Dreams, where a bodybuilder who had, I guess, the dream of becoming world famous and whatnot. It's supposed to be a drama. There was a lot of buzz around it saying that this performance could have been something that could have been an Oscar worthy kind of a thing if it would have came out when it was originally planned to come out and whatnot. It could have been one of the movies that was picked for Best Picture, maybe not. But then when he had his controversies and everything, it was just a derailed. A lot of people in the comments, if you guys remember, were saying things like, well, we don't want to support anyone who's got like domestic violence or I'm sorry, I'll say DV so I don't get demonetized, but DV in their background. And people have to remember, I mean, that is a true statement, and I agree, but he was found guilty of the lesser charge. So, for example, he wasn't found guilty of DV. But he was responsible for the harm, the injury that he caused during that moment when he was trying to get away from her or shoving her in the car. People were saying that his defense was asinine because you went through the whole, I'm 100% innocent, I didn't do anything wrong at all, and I didn't do anything to her at all. But when it was proven that you caused that injury to her hand, you did do something. So he messed up his whole defense trying to claim the 100% innocent route. But what do you think? Before I go into, I'm going to go into the what I found online for as far as I'll say the coverage of it, the difference in the coverage of it. But what do you expect out of this? And you guys in the chat, if you have something to say about it, what do you think about I'll pose the question to my wife first. Joy, what do you think the difference in the coverage is going to be like based on like this outlet versus that outlet? What do you think? How do you predict people will talk about it or have been talking about it, what you've been seeing?
I don't know that it's going to get a lot of coverage at all.
Like the movie or the scandal? Like, what do you think?
The movie.
The movie. What do you think about, what do you mean? All
right. Because they're still letting the scandal rule their feelings or like kind of control any of that.
Right.
So they'd rather talk about that than the movie.
Exactly. And the movie only made like, if I'm remembering correctly, I was watching on one of the outlets saying that and guys, because I haven't pulled it up, I forgot to check and I didn't put it into, but if you guys are watching, what did that movie make? Like, what was the box office? Or if you have time, or maybe I should look it up, the box office for that. I heard that domestically it only made like $1 million. Like it didn't make, it wasn't that expensive of a production, but in any way, shape, or form, at the caliber that Jonathan Majors was getting to for a film to debut at like what, $1 million. I mean, that movie hopefully would have only had cost $50,000 to make, but no, that's not the case. So I don't know if there's a magazine dream box office prediction is what I would Google. But while we're looking that up, here's some of the coverage that came across, and I'll pull it up real fast. Let me see if I can find it. The first set of, like, for example, here's what I was able to stumble upon, like Charlamagne the God from The Breakfast Club, when they were discussing the fact that the leaked audio that came out where Jonathan Majors straight up admitted that the word that he used was that I aggressed you. It was a secret recording that his ex-girlfriend had. Was I guess, I don't know if they were on the phone or if they were in person, but it was that we're having a conversation, and he was like, "Yes, I aggressed you," and saying things like, "I've never done like this before," or So I don't know if that was a conversation where they were like one of their umpteenth fights or anything like that, but I'll go back again. It says Charlamagne the God from The Breakfast Club. He said, he says, why can't he still have a comeback around? Though everybody deserves redemption, the man is not perfect, nor is he ever claiming to be. I'm not reducing anybody to their, what he said. He said that says that worst moment to their worst moment. I'm not going to reduce anybody to their worst moment, and that's sunshine and roses, Charlamagne, but that's just not how the world works. I'm like, dude, like, if you were found responsible for something, as good as an actor you are, and as much as I did like the potential of Kang, it's just, this is a hit to your career. It is what it is. I'm sorry,
well, I think it's one of those things that, because people like to compare it to, well, there's a whole bunch of other actors that have done some really awful things and they're super successful now. Yeah,
Robert Downey Jr.
Well, and a lot of those things happened like 20 years ago.
Yeah, we talk. Yeah,
so you're still talking about something that just happened,
or it's fresher than the other
a year
stuff,
or so ago. Like, it's not been that much removed. I mean, you have people. It takes time for people to see that, to be able to say, "Oh yeah, that was a long time ago," and he hasn't shown himself to be like that anymore. That's
right. Yeah, we haven't separated from
Whereas,
it.
like, because some people like Chris Brown, I know people has still repeatedly, I don't know about, I'm not talking about recently, but over time, he continued to get in trouble for other anger type things. So I think Jonathan Majors is going to need more time to pass before people say, yeah, that's old news, and he's totally not
redeemed, or exactly. It's not going to happen overnight. You're right. It's gonna take time. I've also heard that Michael B. Jordan also was in an interview, or was quoted by saying that if he does another Creed movie, he would want Jonathan Majors, but that was before the audio leak thing came out. And the fact that, and so speaking about the different coverages, and I'll compare like what one outlet is saying versus the other, like the fact that Rolling Stone's that was a complete on purpose, like, that audio, if I remember correctly, that audio is not new. That was released. I remember hearing that audio.
And he also got first married this week or something too.
Yeah, I mean, him and Megan. That was the other thing. That leads me to the next thing. So thanks for reminding me to move. Reminding me to move on E! News, as far as like the comparison of like what Charlamagne the God said versus, like, here's something from E! News reported on the topic focusing on the relationship with Megan Good, saying in the time since Jonathan Majors' legal troubles, he and actress Megan Good found love, confirming that they privately got married earlier this year. I, on social media, said, like, people were like, I give it a week, or I give it a month, or 6 months, or a year before they get divorced. I say it depends on what they talked about when they first started
I
dating.
feel like, again, you need to give it time because
Yeah.
us seeing it right now, we're looking at it going,
I give
this
it a
was-
year.
Well,
Yeah.
this was for his rep because we all
Oh,
know
yeah,
that he's very
popular.
like she's been known for the past quite a bit about being very godly. I think her ex-husband and her
Yeah,
were very
yeah.
like no sex before marriage. Like they were very religious.
Mm.
So I feel like when we first saw them get together, we were
Good
like,
for
this
his-
is totally
his-
for an image.
It was good for his image. Yeah.
Now, obviously, again, as time goes on, if they stay married and he does well, then people will be like, she probably changed his life.
Yeah. Like, and
Or, you know,
or he had a come to Jesus moment, and that's why he got with Megan. Like Lil Wayne said, I'm so fucking good, like I'm sleeping with Megan. But I mean, I'm not gonna say that it's an arranged thing. I mean, people, like I said, it depends on what they discuss beforehand. And if he was like honest or something, and with himself, or if that's the line that she's not willing to, that's the line that she is willing to cross, that's her problem, right? She can, if he was all like, that is the very first time, or I've never done that before, all right. Then if any other things pop up, I'm sure if any of the other, because there are other accusations out there, have any credibility, I'm sure she'll rethink some things. I'm not saying that that their relationship is good or bad or not, but another, into comparison to the Rolling Stones coverage, People Magazine focused mainly on the allegations, quoting Majors in the title of their coverage, saying, I aggress you. They focused directly only on that. That was in their headline, the I aggress you. And then they ended the report telling people where you can call if you're a victim of DV. And if you are a victim of DV, you can call the hotline is at 1-800-799-7233 or go to thehotline.org. I want to throw that in there just because, we are not pro DV, but that was the difference between the covers of like Rolling Stones. They released the audio right or reminded people of that audio right before the debut of his movie, Magazine Dreams, which was getting a lot of independent, like, critic acclaims about the acting. There's people on TikTok were saying that, who saw it, said, this was a great film. Some people liked it, some people didn't. But mostly I saw was good coverage. Charlamagne Tha God saying, that everybody deserves to be redeemed. So in comparison, there's a lot of different ways this is being covered. But the amount of money that is projected to make this week was how much?
$1 million.
Just about $1 million. That's about it. Just $1 million. And for an independent film, like, I mean, I'm not going to call it what was the box office? I believe that I saw that the production was like 8 million or something like that, maybe 4. I don't know. I don't think it was that expensive, but either way, shape, or form, to have a $1 million opening, it was a bad week for movies. And we're going to get into that when we talk about Snow White. I see you guys are voting. I post the question: will you go see the Snow White movie in the chat? So vote on that, and let's keep talking about
it cost
that.
$10 million to produce.
It was a 10. Wow. So it only made 10% after 10% of its budget. Oh wow. 10 million to produce, only made $1 million in the box office. And then 9 times out of 10 movies, usually, unless the word of mouth is great, usually there's a 50% drop from week 1 to week 2. So it's probably expected to do like less than 500,000 next week. Probably not going to stay in theaters for too long. I would advise them to keep it in theaters as long as possible, but that costs money too. So if it's not making money, it's just all it's doing is it's a liability. So it's probably going to come to streaming real soon. It'll be on Netflix in like 3 weeks, in my opinion. So let us know what you guys think. Will you go see Magazine Dreams? What do you think about this whole dreams deferred? A dream deferred is a dream denied. And let's keep talking, guys. All right, moving on. White just came out, right? And all I can see, let me see if I can find it here. All I kept seeing was constant disaster, flop, this and that and the other. Let's see if I can pull it up again. Here we go. I texted my wife this week, and I was like, "Hey, you want to go check out Snow White?" And she's like, "Yeah." Why'd you make make it seem like it was a punishment, babe. Why'd you react like that when I actually want to see that movie?
Well, and I shouldn't say this because I am a huge music person. But
I got the wrong image of it.
But it's a musical. And I just was like, I don't know.
So the question is, will it flop? Do you think Snow White is going to flop? What do you think? What do you think is going to happen with Snow White?
I think
smash or pass? You think it is going to flop?
Probably.
I remember saying to myself, you guys who watch us, you guys know that I'm not down, like, I'm not with the Freaks and the Flamers and that channel over there and the Nerdotics and the Mega Random, all that, and what Tyrone Maggins dumbass has been talking about lately. Everything's woke. Everything is woke. Black guy is woke. That woman is woke. I don't do that stuff. You know me. I don't talk like that. But even my liberal ass, I have to admit, this look woke. I have to say, I was like, if I was one of those guys, I'd be like, yeah, even I. But I'm not one of those guys. But it just does a joke. The fact that, just like with Captain Marvel, if it would have just been one thing, this movie would have been fine. The whole Rachel Ziegler said something dumb on an interview. So what? Combine that with what Gal Gadot, her being Israeli military, and then combine that with her questionable acting skills. Combine that with Peter Dinklage, what he said about little people in movies now. Combine that with the backlash he received from other little people actors who always say like they were struggling to get work. And it's easy for you to say when you're getting all these amazing roles. That's hard for anybody. Combine that with the dwarfs now going from little people to just people of color. Then you can reintroduce the everything is woke guys. Then oh no, they got reanimated. They attacked it again. Combine that with then they decide to make it in CGI, and it looks very bad. It looks very rushed. You could tell it was very last minute. It was a perfect storm of flopitude that was happening on this. So I'm not surprised. I mean, as much as my wife loves musicals, she's like, no, it's giving Joker too.
To be honest, for this particular movie, it really, because I didn't follow all of this controversy, it just didn't look interesting to watch.
It just looked woke.
Like
if we were one of those woke, everything's woke channels, we would be like, this is woke. But check this out. Look at how they cover. Look how they cover this. People that wanted to bash on this was like they were already ready. So even when you search, when I searched on YouTube and you look up Snow White movie reviews, let's look at the headlines real quick. Let's run down it real quick. Snow White. Is it even worse than I expected? It's even worse than I expected. That came from The Critical Thinker, of course, right? That explains that that thumbnail. This is from Modern Girls. I watched the live action Snow White movie, so you don't have to. That was an ongoing theme for titles. I watched Snow White, so you don't have to. Like, no, you didn't. You probably streamed it illegally, and just what is that, Fire Stick or whatever it's called. And then there's us. Oh yeah, look at us. We're part of the agenda too. Snow White, worse disasters than expected. Yeah, that's. See, Michael Knowles. Michael Knowles reviews Snow White, but look at him. It's like he's already having a migraine. You can already. Oh my god. And one of my fan favorites. Oh, check it out, Miss Wannabe Candace Owens over here. Amalia Ekpunobi. Yeah, I watched Snow White, so you didn't have to.
The one below.
Which one?
One below it.
The one below it. That's from Mr. H Reviews. Disney Snow White movie review. Absolute trash. Garbage. we listened to John Campea talk about. Sorry for those who say I mentioned him too much. We listened to him review a little bit, and he honestly said that the things that everybody were. Oh, there he goes, right there. He goes the things that everybody were saying that was going to be the worst things about the movie, right? Rachel Ziegler and this were the good things, things that he liked about the movie, and the things that should have been okay or good, like there was other things that was just disasters. So, I mean, but it seems to be for people who claim to have watched it. It seems to be an ongoing thing. But I watched Snow White, so you didn't have to. That right there seems to be the title that everybody wants to land on. Like back when everybody was saying Marvel's in shambles. You never used that word shambles before a day in your damn life. The second you saw that it got somebody else 700,000 views, you're like, damn, Marvel's in shambles. So now I watched Snow White, so you don't have to. Man, this is not a infomercial. So, and I don't even believe half of these people watched the damn movie. I don't believe it. Snow White is garbage. This is from Night to Watch. Disney Snow White is garbage. A brutal, honest review. You ever notice how people always talk about how they might be being honest, but there were also reports of people who were straight trashing on it, who reluctantly admitted, all right, it was all right. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So,
well, John Campea said his wife loved it.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, we were total opposites. I came out like, yeah, no, it's not good. And she was like, oh, I really liked it. I was telling all her friends, go watch it. It's great.
Yeah. And you don't think that you'll feel the same way, that type of way about it? Like you might be on the path of, you know what, it wasn't as bad as people said it was. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to I'm saying you don't think you'd be like that?
I don't know. Right.
And you don't want to take the chance? You don't want to risk it? We should watch it so they don't have to. Let me go back real fast. Let me go back to I was pulling up our Twitter account and if you want to follow us on Talking Through the Medias, here's our Twitter account. This is what I posted on this subject here. This was a thing that really caught my attention. The fact that Cinema Score gave it a B+. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, Cinema Score, they gave it a B+. And whenever anything positive about something that everybody wants to hate on comes out, you're immediately called a shill. And then people find ways to counter it. So what was the counter to this B+? A B+, that's a passing grade. That's an 85 to an 89 on a test score. It's good. That's good, right? Not if you've done your research and you found out that every other Disney live adaptation movie has never gotten anywhere below an A. This is the first Disney adaptation to get below an A. Or an A- or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, I'm like, damn. Way to shit on somebody's ice cream and call it a fudge sundae, right? I'm like, wow, you couldn't wait to rain on this parade, but I looked it up, and it was true. It was true. I went down the line of every live adaptation Disney movie, and all of them A+, A+. No Cinema Score went below an A. Not even Dumbo. I don't think Dumbo even had. I'm like, so. Wow. So yeah, it was considered, I guess, that bad. Now, here's another little fun fact. I was like, okay, that's funny. That's curious. If that's what Cinema Score was feeling, let me go back to Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, there's a full screen right here. Let's go to Rotten Tomatoes. Check this out. Here we go. The highest, the lowest scores on this, and you probably can't see it. I gotta shrink the image real quick. Let me see if I can make this work for you guys. See. Sorry about this. Can I get it? Is it gonna shrink? See if I can do it again. There we go. At the bottom. You see right there. The lowest live adaptation scored Disney movie is Pinocchio, 27%, and it still got a higher cinema score, an A probably. Snow White is in second place at the time. I don't know where it's. I don't know if you have time. If you can look up Rotten Tomatoes, Snow White. Snow White is at 46%. Then in third place, Dumbo with 46%. It's funny how they tied at 46% when this screenshot was taken, but they still put Dumbo above Snow White. That's political. I'm sorry, but The Lion King 51%, Maleficent 54%, Aladdin 57%. And that movie made $1 billion. And that was, people considered that a surprise. But on Rotten Tomatoes, if you average the critics out, Peter Pan.
43%.
Damn! So now it's a fit. So that's why they broke the tie and said this Snow White was worse, because they predicted it was going to get worse. So as of right now, Snow White is at what? 43%. I'm coming for you, Pinocchio. Peter Pan and Wendy, 65%. Lady and the Tramp, 67%. Little Mermaid, 67%. Now we're getting into the passing D's. Nuts. The D grades here. Beauty and the Beast, which is 71%, and that was too high. I did not like that movie. I felt like that movie, Little Mermaid, should be ranked higher than Beauty and the Beast. I'm sorry. No way. Mulan, 71%. Now, but it's whoa. Look at this. Why is Mulan 71% on this chart, certified fresh, Beauty and the Beast 71%, just an average? What is that? Why is that graphic like that? Anyway, I didn't do that. I copied and pasted that. Mulan 71%, certified fresh for some reason, but Beauty and the Beast is not. I don't get that. 84, that's political. That was an agenda, wherever I copied that from. 84%, Cinderella, certified fresh. The Jungle Book, 94, the only live adaptation with a 90 or above.
Now your popcorn meter with Rotten Tomatoes, that's the fans, right? Not the
popcorn meter, yeah, that's the audience.
It's got a 74%.
So the people overall enjoyed it. Critics were just like, Gal Gadot's wooden acting is ridiculous.
Most people that criticized her.
Gal Gadot had no business being. I mean, you had the original Snow White movie was about a beautiful wicked queen who was jealous about another woman rivaling her beauty. I mean, I'm nothing against.
But they probably were.
I don't think they should have hired Gal Gadot.
They were expecting the caliber of, which I know it's a different character, but similar thing.
Yeah. The
level of acting that you got from Maleficent. What's her name?
From Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know why I gotta say Brad Pitt's name.
To get
first.
that level of acting that you got from the evil Maleficent type.
You think they were
beautiful and still you got, and you're not gonna get that from Gal Gadot.
Wouldn't it be funny if they would have if they start doing what what Marvel is doing? If they would have had an end credits scene where Maleficent showed up at the end or something like that, and that would have been hilarious. Like what if they would have promised that? Would that have given it a couple of more points on Rotten Tomatoes? I don't know. Maybe not. All I'm saying is, I'm not gonna watch this movie. I'm not gonna watch it. I have no interest in it. I don't know anybody who has any interest in it. My wife loves musicals, and this woman is the biggest lefty in the house, and even she said it looked woke. No, she wouldn't say that. And I'm just joking about that. Like I say, guys, we're not one of those everything is woke type channels. We don't do that over here. And I love arguing with you guys too. So if you want to come tell me how Nerdotics or Mecha Random 42 is the greatest channel in the world, go ahead. I'll argue with you because they're idiots. But on this one, yeah, I'll sit there and agree with them. Yeah, it looks bad. It looks terrible. This is trash. It looks bad. But will I watch it if it comes on Disney Plus? I still have to suffer through like Kraven the Hunter and what was the other things that we haven't watched yet?
We haven't watched Wicked yet either.
Yeah,
Wicked
yeah.
I'll watch.
Yeah, let's watch Wicked tonight. What do you think? Let's get naked and watch Wicked. What do you think, baby? Want to do that? Let's do it. Yeah, all right. Date night. All right, guys. Let us know what you guys think of all this. And we didn't I didn't see any interactions on the when we got your mail. Let's see if there was on the poll we got one yes that they will see it, and that's not the
I
results.
think I saw 2 no's and a yes.
2 no's and a yes for will you see Snow White. 2 no's and a yes. All right. If you like it, I love it. Let us know what you guys thought about it, and then let us know if you recommend it. I heard people say good things. I heard other people say that it was not watchable. So if you like it, I love it, and I hope we get better in the future. Let's see, guys. Thank you guys for joining us for another Saturday of a week of talk. We got your mail, talking through the media. There is no we got your mail because it wasn't no conversation now. But thank you guys who are watching. Appreciate you guys sticking around and joining us. If you wanted to support the show, you can always follow us on all of our socials. Like I said, is at T3 Media Studios. We also have a podcast, so any podcast of choice. If you don't have time to watch us and you want to just listen, also at T3 Media Studios on Apple and all of those things. If you want to follow me, you can at T3 Media Studios or at Chris W. Fagan on all the socials. And babe, if they want to reach out and talk to you, where can they follow you?
My TikTok is Viola Fagan, and my Instagram is Scrub Hats and More by Joy.
And I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Ew, get off of me. Get away from me, Snow White. Get away from me, Thong Thong. I don't like that song. Have a good rest of your weekend. And until next time, guys, peace and be good. Thank you guys for watching our video. I really do appreciate it. Remember, you can support our show by becoming a member or a patron. So click the subscribe button. Don't forget to ring the bell for notifications so you'll never miss out on when we go live or post new content. Let's stay connected, grow this community together. Like, subscribe, comment, and let's keep talking.